All right, hello, Robinson. This is Mr. Burns here, and we're going to talk about Supreme Court case analysis project slides 16 to 21. At this point, you have chosen on slide 2, you've chosen which option you're going to do, A, B, or C. You're not going to do all three. You're just going to do one of the cases. At this point, you've kind of read the directions for option A, B, or C, and you notice that at the bottom it says slides either 16 and 17 for option A, First Amendment, 18 and 19 for option B, the Fourth Amendment, or option C is slides 20 and 21. You're going to skip the other ones. All right, so everyone's doing 7 to 15. You're completing all three of your cases. And then when you get to slides 16 to 21, you're only doing 2 of those slides. All right. So if you're doing option A, the First Amendment, you're going to go down to slide 16 once you finish your 3 cases. And you're going to do slides 16 and 17. Pretend you are working on a middle school newspaper and it is your job to decide whether to publish articles. Assume you live in a state that has not passed anti-Hazelwood legislation extending greater First Amendment protection to school newspapers than that afforded by Hazelwood. Keeping the Hazelwood School District versus Kuhlmeyer decision in mind, read the following scenarios and fill in the table with your opinions on each topic. Okay, so what you do is you'll read the scenario on the left. In the middle column, will you publish the article? Explain why or why not in 3 or more sentences. And the right column, do you think your school administration will want to censor the article or block it? Explain why or why not in 3 sentences or more. Okay? Scenario 1 says a reporter for your paper writes a long article about the problem of drug use in your school. The reporter interviews several students about their use of marijuana, but does not use names or other personal details that could help identify the students. The article makes it clear that marijuana use is widespread in your school. Scenario 2 says reporters from your paper write an article based on a commercial website on which students post their ratings of their teachers. The article includes sample comments on teachers in your school, both positive and negative. The negative comments include, if you get this teacher, run for the parking lot. Can't teach their way out of a paper bag, and this teacher had an affair with another teacher not named. The teachers are named. All right. And then number 3 would be, there are high-stakes standardized tests given in your school every May. In order to graduate, students must pass their tests. Students have told your reporters that other students obtain a copy of the test in advance from a teacher. The students involved agree to tell what happened if none of the names of the parties involved would appear in the article. Okay, so you do 16 and 17 if you chose option A. If you chose option B, then you're going to complete only slides 18 and 19. You're not going to do 16, 17. You're not going to do 20, 21. Okay, this shows a document, the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution as proposed and ratified. And what it says here is the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The source is United States Congress, 1789, Thomas Greenleaf and James Madison pamphlet collection. You're going to answer 5 questions. Observation question number 1, what do you notice first about the 1789 printing of the proposed Bill of Rights? Observe number 2, what do you notice first about the words in this amendment? On slide 19, reflect question number 1, who is protected by the Fourth Amendment? Reflect number 2, whose actions are limited by the Fourth Amendment? And reflect number 3, what rights does the Fourth Amendment guarantee in your own words? You're going to answer each of these questions in 1 to 2 sentences. If you chose option C, the 14th Amendment, you are going to work on only slides 20 and 21. You're going to skip 16, 17, 18, and 19. All right, the directions say read the following descriptions of school segregation cases that came before the U.S. Supreme Court after the Brown versus Board of Education decision. Taking into consideration what you know about the Brown case and the spirit in which it was written, how would you decide each one? All right, so case number 1 is Green versus County School Board of New Kent County, 1968. And what you have to answer is, if you were a Supreme Court justice, would you rule this freedom of choice plan constitutional? Explain your answer in at least 4 sentences. Okay? So case number 1 says, states and counties adopted many different plans to desegregate their schools. In 1965, the New Kent County School Board adopted a freedom of choice plan, which essentially allows students in the rural residentially integrated district to choose which of the two schools they wish to attend, the formerly all-black Watkins School or the formerly all-white New Kent School. After 3 years of the new plan, no white people had elected to attend Watkins, and 115 black people attended New Kent. The African American school children, in this case, contended that the freedom of choice plan in practice operated to perpetuate the racially dual or segregated school system. It placed the burden of desegregation on the African American children's shoulders. Okay, so you have to answer this question to the right. Do you think this plan is good, it's constitutional, or do you think it's unconstitutional, unfair? Explain why. All right, on slide 21, same directions. Case 2 is Swan versus Charlotte Mecklenburg Board of Education, 1971. If you were a Supreme Court Justice, would you order the desegregation of the school district through a busing system to disperse students? Explain your answer in at least 4 sentences. Okay, case number 2. The school district in question was a part urban, part rural district covering 550 square miles and serving 84,000 pupils in 101 schools. The school population was 29% African American students, and those pupils were concentrated in one quadrant, one section of the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. Even after the Brown v. Board of Education of Topeka decision, more than half of the district's black students attended schools without any white students or teachers. After the Green decision, the federal court adopted a plan to scatter the highly concentrated African American student population by transporting students. The plan would involve 13,000 students and require 100 new buses at a cost of millions of dollars. So I want you to answer the question to the right. Would you have agreed to this or not agreed to this? Okay. And again, here is your timeline for completing the project. Come with me to class if you have any questions about slides 16 to 21. Thank you.